Hey, welcome everyone to our live stream. It's Ned from Caspio. Hope you guys are having a good Monday. Let me know if you can hear me okay so that we can begin today's presentation in talking about enabling PayPal as the payment gateway to our Caspio application so that we can accept payments, process payments, and hopefully generate some revenue with our applications. Loud and clear? Okay, good. Just a fair warning, if I sound a little exhausted or tired, there's a perfectly good explanation for that. If you're a fan of European football, or as they call it, soccer here, and if your team is playing at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's somewhat obligatory to stay up and watch that match. So priorities, right? And baby, well, not baby in this case. Baby was sound asleep, unlike his dad, who, as I said, priorities, has to watch the soccer match and then end up being disappointed at the end. So, yeah, hopefully some of you can relate. At this point, I'm just hoping my team is out so that I can stress less and go about my day. In any case, let's proceed with today's presentation. So, I will let you know that I've tried extensively to figure out a way to do recurring payments, an easier method. There's just no way to do recurring payments on the Caspio platform without customization in the back end. Okay, I've talked to our engineering team, and they've advised me not to do anything related to that because there's so many procedures in the back end that need to take place, like masking of the credit card, checking if the credit card is expired, expiration date, and all of that needs to talk back to your Caspio table. So if something happens in the front end and you have a payment gateway integrated, it needs to communicate back and forth with an API. So that's why a professional services team handles that. In today's live stream, we're just going to cover one-off payments, unfortunately, where you have maybe one product that a customer can buy online, or if you're a patient and you log into your account, you have a co-payment that you need to pay. Those types of payments, like one-time fees, we can manage using our payment integration. Okay. So with that out of the way, I have a very simple application set up today. It's just, again, as I just mentioned, we have patients who can log in, and we have, things we need to pay for, out-of-network copay, ER, lab work. And then when you're looking at the amount, you can just make the payment by clicking on the link. And the way I've set it up is to make the payment using PayPal. Okay. You can display more information here as well. You can also show credit card fields if you're using Stripe. But I have a PayPal account, so I chose to use PayPal. I didn't want to provide a lot of sensitive data and personal information to Stripe, too many payment gateways. But if you want to do something like that where you display, let's say in this example application that I have, you're looking at a list of classes, and I go to the submission form to sign up. You can have the option for PayPal, what I set up today, or you can do credit card if you connect to Stripe. So Caspio allows you to connect to either Stripe or PayPal. If you do Stripe, you can see credit card information down below where the user needs to input that info. And then you can also choose optional PayPal if you'd like. For today's live stream, I chose to do PayPal. So when you click on that button, it opens up PayPal. You can pay with your debit or credit card. And then when you submit the form, we can write this information back to a Caspio table. Okay, even if you're using PayPal or Stripe. And the information that we can write back, so if I go back into my account and we go to tables and we go to payments, so we can have the payment processor, we can have mode, payment service, token ID, card brand, card number. If you do the card number, it's going to be masked on the table. Okay, so you're only going to see the last 4 digits. You're not going to be able to see the entire credit card number. Expirations, transaction ID, which you can reference back to if you need to talk back to the patient, and this transaction date. Okay, so that's the information we can write back, even if you're using PayPal or Stripe. And then when you make the payment, as I mentioned, you can write all that information back to your Caspio table. In order to do this, you have to go to Tools and click on Payment Processors. Okay, and then I have my PayPal enabled, so you're going to hit Create. I'm going to hit Edit. And what you're going to do is you're going to grab the client ID and you're going to grab the secret that PayPal gives you. You plug that information in here, you verify it, you hit save, and now you can start collecting payments from your application if it's a one-time payment. And then to grab that information from PayPal, you have to go to your developer account. Am I in the right place? Yeah. Your PayPal developer portal. All right. So you have two options here for Sandbox if you're doing your testing, or you can go live. Back inside Caspio, we have the same thing. We have Sandbox and live. So if you're ready to collect these payments, you can flip back to live, and you will have those transactions, payments going back to your PayPal account. And what you're doing basically is you're creating the application. I set up my testing application here. I'm going to open it. And then you can see how we get the client ID that you plug back into Caspio. And I'm not going to show you the secret, but if you click on this link, you're going to be able to grab the secret and also plug that back into your Caspio account. And it's really as simple as that. And then when it comes to the data page, let me cancel out of that. Let's go back to our app. Patient payments. Data page, the one that submits the form. All right, so I have my payment enabled. I'm using PayPal Sandbox. Amount paid, that's on the form. When you're making that payment, you're going to be able to pay that amount. And then on the Advanced tab, you're going to be able to see how we can map these fields back to our Caspio table. You don't have to map out all the fields. If all you need is the card number, maybe the expiration date, you can just map those fields out, and then you can leave these blank, and you don't even have to create those fields back in your Caspio table. Okay. And then when it comes to Stripe, if you want to be able to see the credit card fields in the application the way I have in my example here, I'm just going to flip back to this application or this account that I have. And I just need to find that app. Just bear with me here for a second while it loads. It's called Training Management. If you guys want that application, I can send you that application and you can see how I built it. Just let me know in the chat window. Open that up. And then on the here under Tools, you will see I have both PayPal and Stripe. If I click Edit, it's the same thing. Once you open up your Stripe account, you go to your Developer Tools. Sorry, this is still loading. Give it a second. Yeah, this is a more complete application that I have, which has 3 different portals. We have customers that can log in, self-register, they can log in. I logged in as Mary. I see the list of classes that I can sign up for. I can register, pay for a class. I can see the previous classes that I've signed up for. And then we have, in addition to that, we have instructors who can log in. So if I log in, I'll just give you a quick demo of this application. And I'll show you the admin portal too so that you can see those transactions. So if I log in here, as the instructor, I can post a class that I'm teaching. I fill out all the information here. How much does it cost for students to apply for my class? You know, different topics, date of class, class level, class status. When you submit the class for review, and then you log in as the admin level user. Now as the admin, I see a dashboard where I can track revenue. I can see total revenue from all the students that have signed up for all the classes. This is not a good looking chart where you see a downward trend. And then you can track some metrics here as well. If I go to classes, I can see and manage all the classes submitted by the instructors. I can approve or not approve classes. And then when we go to reports and we look at revenue, I can see a pivot table that shows me the breakdown across the classes and how much revenue it's coming in for every given month. And then when we go to registrants, we can see the list of all the people that have signed up for those classes. And I thought that I was showing somewhere in this application the masked credit card. So let me see. I think I have that somewhere. Manage customers. Hit search. If I go to Mary Jane. Maybe I removed it. I think I was showing it before where you see what you ordered when you submitted the form. And then I did have a column here that shows the masked credit card information, but maybe I removed it for some reason a while back. I can't remember why. Anyway, let me go back to my Caspio account. You can see that for Stripe, I'm using test mode, but you can also do live mode as well. And then you connect with Stripe. So when you click on that button, it's going to ask you to log into or provide your Stripe credentials. And that's how you link back to your Caspio account. And eventually you're going to be able to set that up where you accept payments with Stripe. Okay, so this is a fairly straightforward implementation. If you have a Stripe account, you just have to provide a lot of information like your social security number. You have to provide that for your, your taxes. So, and I didn't want to go through all those steps because I already did that with PayPal and I don't want to do that with too many payment gateways. So unfortunately, I know many of you are hoping to see something with recurring. I do apologize. I tried, even through Zapier, I was looking into doing PayPal, but unfortunately with Zapier, I tried to use Caspio as the trigger app, and then PayPal here, you will see that there are no actions available. And for a while, I was thinking, why are there no actions available? I should be able to submit something to a Caspio table and send that to PayPal using Zapier, but it's only the other way around. So if you make the payment or if you process the payment with PayPal, only then you see the triggers that are available. So it's just a one-way street. If I process the payment on PayPal, I can have that information stored in the Caspio table if it's a successful sale, for example. And then in Caspio, we can write that. We can add that as a new entry. And that's not really going to work for us when it comes to recurring payments. So today, as sad as I am to announce this, you really just have to go through professional services if you want to do recurring payments. Unless you have a method where you don't mind processing these payments manually in some way, because you could have, like the way I have it here set up for my patient portal. If let's say this is a recurring payment, and let's say this is called upgrade account. I'll give you a scenario, okay? Let's say you're looking at your profile page as the user or as the company, and this says subscribe. Okay, you click on that. It's going to open up maybe another form that says monthly payment, recurring monthly payment, $50 a month or something like that. Then you go to PayPal like that. Your customer is going to make the payment, but then you have to send yourself an email and kind of be in real time reactive. If you get that payment to come in, then on your Caspio table, if there's a status on the account, you can change that maybe from trial to paid. And then you might have a cancel link somewhere in the update profile to allow them to cancel, but then you have to go to your PayPal account and cancel on their behalf. It's not automated. And initially, from a SaaS perspective, initially this can work because I don't anticipate having too many people who are going to sign up for my website. But eventually, if many people sign up, then I can justify, allocating some funds to having either Caspio or some other way automating the whole recurring system. But a lot of customers have done that manually initially until the website takes off. And once it does, well, then hopefully you're generating some revenue. Yeah, professional services will definitely take care of all the nuances when it comes to recurring payments. Okay, we've done that many of times. And the reason why I can't do anything, even with JS or SQL on the framework for data pages, is because it requires backend access. And I don't have access to that. So it requires some backend manipulation, which our engineering team has for each account, but I personally don't have any visibility on that. Caspio only accepts new entries from Zapier, correct? Yeah, if you're using PayPal, or I think Zapier also has, I don't know, let's just see. Stripe? Yeah, so Stripe too. Oh, this would be interesting. Let's see, Caspio. Yeah, no actions. Oh, maybe there is. Interesting. Create subscription. Oh, okay. Maybe I can do something with that. I didn't think about that. So if I submit the form to upgrade my account on the Caspio side, I don't know. Don't quote me on this. I don't know if this is possible, but let's say on the Caspio form, you have the fields for credit card information. I am wondering if there's a way to send that information to Stripe to create that subscription. And then if you update the record, this will be a second zap. If you update now, let's say I cancel my account. If I update, I want to be able to find subscription, maybe update the customer, deactivate payment link. I'm trying to see if there's a way to cancel from Stripe too immediately. Something I'll have to play with. This actually just came to my mind when I was doing the live stream. I did not think to use Stripe to see if there's a way. If I knew this, I would have used Stripe instead of PayPal. Let me take a look at your comments and questions. So professional servicing and do recurring setup for us? Yes, everything. Presumably other payment processors, possibly if going through Caspio. Yeah, so absolutely. You can use other payment gateways if you'd like. We just have to do a little bit of research on our end with the API to make sure that it's possible. But that's all part of the professional services setup. Yes, we've done other payment gateways outside of Stripe and PayPal. That's a good question. So. All right, so today's live stream, as you can see, about 15 minutes of content. This is interesting. I might actually offline, I might dabble with this and see what I can get done. I just hate to open up a Stripe account and provide a lot of personal data. But it's interesting. It's intriguing. I want to see if I can do that, because then we might be able to maybe still not be able to have all the steps, but at least it'll remove a lot of manual work, I think. So I'll have to play with that to see how much I can get done. This week PayPal, next week Stripe. Okay, I have another topic for next Monday, but let me see if I can combine that with the Stripe integration. I'll try, see how far I can get. I make no promises. If I run into any critical hiccups, I will probably just stop from doing it. I'll let you guys know next week. This is interesting. All right, thank you so much for attending today's live stream. I know it was short. Sometimes we don't use the full hour, but that's okay. At least we get to cover something off. And then I'll see you guys next week. Thank you again for attending. I'll leave the chat open for a few more minutes. I'll close the live stream window, but if you have any last minute questions, if you want to throw in suggestions on something you'd like to see on these live streams, let me know in the chat window, and I'll take note of that and hopefully bring that into the live stream for you guys. All right, have a good rest of the week and stay safe out there.